All right, welcome into another Gran Turismo 7 VR video. We are in the showcase room, and this is a 2022 Nissan Qashqai. What's going on? I'm trying to say that. Let's check out the lights real quick. Yeah, so this is a 2022, so of course we have very almost like neon strip type of lights. We got some blinkers. The lights themselves look like, I'm pretty sure those are LED headlights and such. A lot of the newer vehicles have LED headlights that are just a little more reliable. Sometimes can be a lot brighter than old-fashioned light bulbs. So this car is yeah, it's got all the bells and whistles to it. I do believe that could be cameras on the front, maybe a sensor and a camera on the front of it right there. So we have a lot of chromed out detailing on the design of this. Again, it's a Nissan, so that's one thing. If you want to say anything about Nissan, it's got a very good look to it. It always does. Still have the blinkers on over there. So let's get around to man, look at this color on this. Ooh, it is nice. A little bit of a red, a little bit of an orange mix to just make the red look like it's on fire. So again, Qashqai, Qashqai, I don't know exactly how to say it. So decent rims. Again, chrome outline on the rims, kind of blacked out. So yeah, I mean, you might end up seeing some scratches in those rims a little bit because it's black. As soon as you rub away that black paint, most likely some silver underneath. But I do like the design of the rims. They look cool. So this is a e-car, an EV, an electric powered vehicle, brand new 22 model. So it's that up to date stuff. Interesting. The door handle actually sticks out on this. A lot of the newer vehicles, the door handle is kind of into the door, I've been noticing. So again, we have chromed out detailing going all the way around the windows. Looks super cool, very sharp. Actually, I'm kind of liking the detailing on this with the chrome. It's got kind of an old school throwback feel to it because we don't always see a lot of chrome being used nowadays. Um, let's see here. So we're getting into the back end of the car again. Looks like we have either more sensors, probably two sensors, two cameras. I'm thinking for a wider angle on the backup camera, and probably I mean those two could be two cameras in the front end also to get the field of view in the front. So if you're pulling up to the curb or whatever, you can see exactly how close you are. Sensors built into the cameras and all that. So let's turn on the lights. So we got again kind of that I'm gonna flip between different lightings here so you can really see the lights shine through. I'm surprised all the lights are on. I thought that whole bar might be a blinker or at least a backup. Okay, interesting. So yes, we have looks like that could actually be just a wind fin up there just to make it a little more aerodynamic. Again, so many curves in the design of this, so many little peaks in that just to cut through the wind and keep the car steady and straight. Uh, but also, I'm kind of noticing the bullet design is kind of gone with this one, and they're going kind of more that rigid design to try and help. It's almost, you got like a hint of the fins from way back in the day with that. Hmm, looks cool. All right, let's get inside. Right hand side cedar. Interesting. Again, I'm going to flip between different lightings so we can just really get a good look at everything. I can do that. So all digital display, 2022 model, of course. We have a big old display for the cameras and such. That's going to be interesting to see when we get out on the road exactly how much everything lights up in here for the dashboard, and all that. So we have calling buttons, we have radio buttons, probably, yeah, something like that. Music, music selector switches and everything. Um, what else? Chrome on the steering wheel and more buttons. So all your seat buttons look to be over here on the door. We have another steering wheel button over there. Again, all digital display, of course, because we're in that modern era with the vehicle start stop button instead of a key. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, so I've seen on the BMWs they have you put the key into the dashboard, if you will, or the inside console, I guess you would much rather say. You put the key in there, and then you would hit that start stop button over there on the front. I don't know how this one's set up, but it was interesting seeing like the BMW still need a key for it. So we have EV, we have charging. It looks like they have a charging plate for your cell phone, so you can just plop it right into there. I wonder if there's maybe Bluetooth built into that too, possibly. Um, is that maybe also like a pen charging station, or is that Bluetooth? It's hard to see in VR actually exactly what the other symbol is there, but it's definitely a cell phone charger. Yeah, so all your normal. I bet you that the middle of that, just underneath where the fans are right there, I bet you that lights up and it says how much the temperature is and all that, for each seat and such. So let's see here. Full on leather seats. It looks like a little bit of mesh padding mixed with the leather seats. We have possibly lights or such. Oh, SOS call. I noticed that too with the newer vehicles. Pretty much anything from like kind of 2020 onwards, you start to see that SOS button pop up. So if you get into a wreck or something, hopefully that, there's still electricity in the vehicle where you can hit that button. Uh, it's pretty much three seats back there. You could fit three people. It'd be maybe a tight squeeze, but yeah, a little bit of leg room and such. You got a little bit of trunk space back there too, not bad. Definitely okay. So the whole interior in here looks to be probably the rubber, just sort of fake leather, but that rubbery interior, even on the ceilings too and such. No padding really on like the doors or anything. Um, yeah, it's really just your everyday cruiser once again, but it's cool just seeing another up to date. That, oh man, that blue, black, and silver. It like blue, black, and silver always goes together real well. Oh, and I just realized too, it's also chromed out door handles on the inside here. Um, yeah, very very sleek and nice looking design on everything in here. What's one of the interesting things is trying to find where the speakers are, because I've been noticing that they try and hide the speakers a little bit on you, and now they're also starting to be like up top where they used to be down the doors. Now we have like the little cubby hole in the doors. Now they're up top next to the windshield, on the left and right there. So you have your fan and then your speaker system sitting right next to each other. Interesting. In the back also, I'm actually not seeing a speaker in the back. Where is it? I can only stretch so far in VR. Yeah, I don't see it. It must be. Oh, you know what? It's probably behind the seat, maybe, like a subwoofer or something behind the seat. So yeah. Okay. Let's jump into it and do it. Let's get this thing on the road. All right, here we go. Driving part of the video, of course, and we are. Oh, I was waiting for the engine to kick in, and yeah, this is a electric vehicle. Uh, the electric vehicles tend to drive ever so slightly different. When you push on the gas, they go. That's the number one thing I definitely have learned after driving a couple different Teslas and all, like the super the supercars and all that. The suspension is a little high on this. We're getting a lot of roll. That can sometimes be good, sometimes be bad. If you have a very tight corner, you don't really want the car rolling too much sideways because you tend to get loose. Okay, so first lap here, of course, as always, is just to get to know the car. Second lap will be racing, and then third lap is trying to get first place, or as close to first place as we can. So we are in Japan, of course, you know, Nissan. I've changed up the way I say Nissan. I am now saying Nissan because I've heard the Japanese call it Nissan. So I'm like, okay, I'll start calling it that. I think it's acceptable either which way, but there's a lot of people that call it Nissan. This car, I can't even. Is silent. I don't even hear it. I hear nothing. I see the speedometer going. I feel the car moving, but there is. It's not even like zzz or anything going. It'd be interesting also, like, I hope we get more electric vehicles in Gran Turismo, because it would be interesting to see the difference between a Tesla, between, like, the Fords and the Nissan and like, you know, what else is making? Hell, they have I think there's a Samsung and a Microsoft car in the works and everything. It'd be really cool to see exactly how all this goes. So, the one thing, actually, with this car, I think Tesla has way more acceleration to it. Usually these EVs, they accelerate like crazy. This one I am putting it to the floor, and I feel like we're barely getting going. And now I got to race a Mustang. This is so I do have racing tires on this. Give them a little bump. I put them into the field. I didn't mean to put it into the field. My bad. All right, BMW M3 from '89. I like it. You know what's funny about this is I think I would actually forget that I'm on a battery charge, because you know, when you hear the engine going, it keeps in the back of your mind of keep an eye on your gas. And with this, it's just like you forget that the car is running. It just moves. All right. Man, the brakes are really soft on this too. It's not like the brakes are not like, you know, you tap them in and just boom right there stopping. It's like you getting a good slowdown, but it's a smooth slowdown on it. Not feeling the car really. Not feeling the car bounce back and forth, or tilt back and forth, I guess. Yeah, it's like I'm looking down, I'm doing 89 miles an hour, and I'm not hearing any feedback from the car of RPMs or anything. It's super weird. The only thing you can hear is it. Huh. You can kind of hear the engine. It's just very subtly there. Of course, it could also be a glitch too. That just came to mind, is the car's audio could be glitched out, possibly. Maybe I'll reload into a second race and just check that out afterwards. Maybe do a errors note in here, but like you can hear like a little bit of a whoosh, but yeah, see, I can hear that car's engine. I think it's just this car is just super silent. Interesting, very interesting. It is cruising right around the track. Okay, a 69 Corvette. Very, very cool seeing that on the track. Always love to see the classics. I will say, this is handling the corners pretty solidly. Not having to really crank the wheel over too well or too hard. I am kind of wondering if it could be glitch because it does sound almost like a V8 sitting in idle or something. You can hear that in the background. I wonder if they got the wrong sound effect on the car, possibly. Again, I'll double check it and do like an errors note or something to see. Could just kind of really weird one-off glitch. All right. Again, racing sports tires on, or racing soft tires. Let's see, how fast are we? Yeah, speeds. It's definitely, like on the straightaway, it is definitely a slower acceleration, but not bad overall. Probably, you throw some upgrades in this thing, it'd be a very viable racing car. So, very cool. A new electric vehicle on Gran Turismo.